Hi there. Welcome to my pretend cooking show. My name is Dina Mitchell.
And I'm Brittany Larson.
And this is my kitchen. Prego, Torta Caprese, a century-old mistake that became an exquisite cake. That is what we're going to show you today. And it's pretty simple. It basically has 5 ingredients: eggs, sugar, almonds, dark chocolate, and butter. So let's kind of get started. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to separate 3 eggs. And what I've learned, and you've been watching the show, you've learned too, it's always best for me to separate in a separate bowl. So therefore, if I mess up one, I can just get a new egg and I don't have to completely start over. So I'm doing my egg yolks over here, my whites over here. So the story behind this is really, really cool. It goes back to the mid-1920s, and if you know your history, then you know that that was about the time Al Capone, Scarface, was running around. And he happened to send 3 guys to Capri to go get some gaiters. And I guess gaiters, I don't know if we wear them that much, but it basically goes from your, I think the top of your boot or up to your calf. And apparently they made them really well in Capri. So, let me do that. So that's why the hair guys were there. So I am now I'm gonna ask Brittany to take this bowl and go over and beat it to stiff peaks, and she's taking 1/3 amount of the sugar. The total amount of sugar that we're putting in here is 120 grams. So I just divided it. 1/3 for her, 3/4 for me. Something like that? 3/4? 2/3 for me. Next thing I'm going to do is I am going to melt the chocolate and the butter over a pan with about a little bit of water, and it's simmering. So I've got 125 grams or 4.4 ounces of 70% chocolate. You really want a really nice chocolate in this because this is it's a chocolate cake, and it's important. Plus, if you have anything less than 70%, it simply will be too sweet, and the cake is already sweet enough. And I'm also adding 125 grams of unsalted butter, which is about 9 tablespoons. And I'm just gonna melt that together. I'm just gonna take a second, and I've got like a heat-proof spatula here, which is kind of cool, so I don't have to worry about it melting at all. And this literally just takes a couple of seconds. While I'm waiting for this to melt, I'm going to add the remainder of the sugar into my egg yolks. So 2/3 there. You know, all my trips to Italy, I don't think I ever tried this cake. It just looked like a chocolate cake, and I don't know. I guess I reserved my calories for cake and for pizza and pasta. Man, was I missing out, because once I heard the history behind this cake, and I'll finish that in a second, it just made it that much more special. And once I finally tried it, crispy on the outside, fudgy on the inside, incredible flavor, I was sold. And this is the Torta Caprese. And so, like I said, 100-year-old mistake. And what that meant is, so Al Capone's guys were.
Do you think a little more?
In Capri. I'm sorry, Brittany. What?
Do you think a little more?
Just beat it to stiff peaks. Sure. And sorry about that. And there was this pastry chef, famous pastry chef at the time, wanted to make his perfect chocolate cake for Al Capone's guys. Apparently, Al Capone's reputation preceded them all the way in Capri. So, the pastry chef, probably being a little nervous, forgot to put the flour in his famous chocolate cake. And guess what? To his amazement, the cake came out absolutely perfect. And so forth, not only Al Capone's guys absolutely loved it, they actually asked for the recipe as well. So Scarface also likes chocolate cake, and if he likes this chocolate cake, I guess you better too, right? And if you remember, I actually made limoncello version of this a few weeks back, and I'll put that link down below as well. And okay, so we've got the chocolate and the butter in here, and you know what, I try to get all the ingredients in the pan because when it comes to baking, they really don't allow for waste. When it comes to a recipe, they kind of consider that you're putting everything in there. So it is important to get all the ingredients as much as you can. All right, so now I'm going to beat these together a little bit. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does it look good?
Go a little bit more. I want a stiff piece.
More high?
Yep.
I'm learning too.
Like frosting. I don't know, have you guys ever tried a Torta Caprese? Well, maybe you will after this, at least. After this beautiful mistake, the Torta Caprese became the pride and joy of Capri, the Amalfi Coast, and Sorrento. Incorporate the almond flour. So in Capri, originally what they would do is they would take the blanched almonds and just pulse them in a food processor or such. I don't know if they had a food processor back then, but you get my point. And then to make almond flour. But nowadays we can just buy almond flour. So I have blanched, ultra fine almonds in here, flour, and I'm just going to incorporate that in. Alternatively, this is where you can add some flavors to the cake. For example, espresso powder, just kind of bring out that chocolate. You can add some Cointreau. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, which is an orange liqueur. You can add some rum. You can add some Marnier. Not all three of them, just pick one. Marnier, lemon zest or orange zest. And they all taste great, but I'm teaching you the original version. So I am folding in the almond flour. So this is 185 grams or 2 cups. Did you get those stiff peaks now?
Yep, I think so.
Good. Very, very cool.
That's my favorite about Dina. She's so patient with me and helps me learn so much.
But you learned. Perfect. Show them what stiff peaks are.
Now you know what stiff peaks are. I've honestly never had to make stiff peaks in anything.
Oh,
so
really?
now I know.
You've never made a meringue or...
No.
No? Well, geez, now you know.
Now I know.
So I am folding in my almond flour. So folding in case you guys don't know, that means basically up from the bottom and around, up from the bottom and around, because I don't want to deflate the air that I have built in to this, and that's going to matter a lot more when I incorporate the egg whites.
I'm very familiar with that because normally I just start going like this and she says, Brittany, fold, fold.
Well, we spent that time building all that air in there.
I didn't know that there's a difference too. When someone tells you to fold versus like mix well or something, and there's a huge difference. And I've definitely seen that since I've been cooking with Dina.
All those little words.
Yes.
They mean something.
Definitely.
Okay. So I've got my almond flour in there. And by the way, you guys can double this recipe, and this is not going to be a mistake. Double the recipe, but not the eggs. You're only going to have a total of 5 eggs if you double. The eggs will be enough. So, okay. Now I'm going to incorporate the egg whites. I'm going to do about 1/3 at a time. Kind of chop up a little and then up and over. We've got the oven preheated to 350 degrees, which is really important, especially when you're working with egg whites, because egg whites are not patient. They must be female. So they will go flat. So it's important that your oven is preheated and it gives the time for it fully to be at proper temperature. I like to do at least a half hour before. And another good thing is to get an oven thermometer and just check what temperature your oven is actually at. Not what it says that it's at, but what it's actually at. And I just did that recently. Very happy with that, especially considering it's only a few years old. Man, this cake is so good. And for the most part, it's simple. I mean, once you prep all your ingredients, you have them all out, they're pretty easy. All right.
That's super fluffy. If you guys were here, I mean, it's amazing what the
Egg whites
high-peaked egg whites are doing for the cake.
There you go. Stiff. They're stiff. They're soft. They're stiff peaks. They're soft peaks. Foamy. I don't know. There's lots of like kitchen terms. Brittany's a great cook. She really, really is. She is the expert decorator, that is for sure.
I'm learning a lot.
We're going to be sharing an amazing sugar cookie recipe, but even more amazing is we have nailed the most perfect gluten-free sugar cookie recipe.
Definitely.
It's
you cannot
so
even
good.
tell that there's a difference between normal and gluten-free.
Along with that, a lot of pumpkin stuff, including how to make your own pumpkin puree and freeze it. Okay. So I am about there. Did I get that on the outside? No, just there.
I'm excited for that because I feel like we've been to the store, or I've been to the store, and all the pumpkin puree's been out. So then you won't have that problem anymore if you're able to make it at home and just get pumpkins, because there's pumpkins everywhere right now.
Fresh and organic,
Exactly.
and it freezes for up to 6 months. So.
Yes.
I'm also excited to make pumpkin raviolis, similar to what I've had in Florence around this time. Okay. So when you get down to the very bottom, you can go ahead and give it a couple quick stirs, because I'm not going to jeopardize the air at this point, and I just want to make sure it's all incorporated. And so we have a prepared pan. When I say a prepared pan, actually I think I'm going to go all minis. Let's see. So prepared pan meaning that I have butter all around it, and plus I have a little parchment paper in there, and that's going to make it a lot easier when it comes to taking it out. So I wouldn't try baking spray on this. All right, let me try to put it in. And I'm gonna go about 3/4 on this. Showed you the dottor, right? Yep. And then Brittany, go ahead and tap that down a couple times. Yep. We're not taking the air out. We just want to make sure that it's even. Yep, it's even, cooks evenly. That one's about good. So you're gonna use, for this recipe, an 8-inch round. We're gonna do these small little fun ones. If you double the recipe, go to 10. And I'll show you my favorite pan. I'm making 3 big ones here.
It smells so good. I love chocolate and it smells so good.
I won't tell you, or maybe I will. Brittany voted for the pasta dish, just so you know.
I did, you guys! Because I love learning new dinners and stuff to make at home and everything. I obviously love desserts, but I'm secretly happy that y'all voted for the chocolate cake.
And then there was a bunch of you that didn't vote and then said later, hello, you can't get what you want if you don't vote.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that happened to some people 4 years ago. Anyhow, what's meant to happen is meant to happen, right? And I'm still going to do that timbalo for you this week because I love it. It's super good. So as I said, we're going to put this in the oven for 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes, and it really depends on how thick of a pan that you used. 8-inch round. You can just use a regular springform. These need to be springform so it's easier to take out. So I'm gonna put these in the oven. Alexa, set timer for 25 minutes.
25 minutes, starting now.
Do your job. Okay, so here comes the good part. Where's the smoke coming from? Oh, I thought I saw it. Okay, so here is the finished. I have allowed it to cool in basically about 30 minutes or so. And you may need to take a knife to loosen it, but no problem on this one. I'm gonna remove the bottom somehow. There we go, and it has the parchment paper. So this is the pan I was telling you about. This is about 10-inch round, and I love this one because it has the high sides, and I'll link it in the bottom. Here is our beautiful Torta Caprese cake, but it's not finished yet because
we need all the sugar.
we're gonna decorate it. So I actually just use, this is a placemat that I use for the holidays.
That's how you do it.
Yep, but it's gonna make a really pretty design. So,
see, I learned just like you guys. That's why I'm here. I'm just right up close and personal and get a bite of it.
so. Dun, 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 dun.
That's awesome. Ooh.
And like I said, guys, this is crispy on the outside, fudgy on the inside. It's absolutely amazing. And voila. Can you move that on that side for me? Clean up this little mess. Okay, guys.
Looks so good.
I want everything out of the way so you can see this beautiful cake. Torta Caprese. Beautiful chocolate, 70%. You can use even higher, just don't use lower. And make this cake for yourself. Just for yourself. Maybe you can make some for other people as well. And I made one for Brittany and I.
Thank
There
you.
we go. You can take the first bite. Just go straight in the middle.
Straight in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I like the texture of it for sure.
Crispy on the outside, fudgy on the fudgy on the inside. Oh wow, this is gonna be a really big bite.
That's why I cut mine a little smaller.
I'm not foreign to that.
I'm excited to try this.
All right, guys.
Look how fudgy it is. It looks so good.
Here's a bite for you, and here's a bite for me. Welcome to thank you for watching my pretend cooking show. It's fudgy. It's totally fudgy.
Moist on the inside for sure.
And the crispy on the outside. It's like a best brownie you've ever tried. That's very, very similar.
Exactly.
Anyhow,
so good.
thank you for watching my pretend cooking show. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, put them below. And if you've tried this cake, please let me know. I want to know. Thank you. My name is Dina Mitchell.
And I'm Brittany Larson.
Ciao.
Have a good day.